Hello. Can I be heard? Hello, hello. Let's get figured out here for 2 seconds. Cool. Pull this up. All right. Welcome to the David Atencio Show. I am, David Atencio. Um, we'll start off here by kind of figuring out what this is going to be. It's going to be a show where we talk, anything from religion to politics to football could be brought up. It doesn't really matter. We could talk. Our major touching points will be politics, maybe a little bit of religion. Um, it could, but like I said, we could talk about pretty much anything. Um, what we got here, how we have it set up. Oh, I probably shouldn't have closed that. Is we got this, and then we got computer screen, so that way, a lot of the times during this, if I do have guests on and we're talking, because I do want to have conversations, I do want to, if I get to that point, bring people in, have some conversations, talk, see what happens, and we can just fact check as we go. Pull up Google. I guess you guys can't see, but right now, but pull up Google. You'll see me looking off this way because I got my second monitor over here. Kind of just got a couple of talking points I want to talk about. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so this will be nightly, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. roughly. Go live around the 8 a.m. area. Try for anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, could be an hour, depending on everything that happens that day. Um, but I wanted to do this. Um, Politics are a big inspiration of my life. I love politics. Religion's a huge part of my life, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that talk, and there's a lot of hard right Republicans. There's a lot of hard left Democrats that are out there, and they have a voice. They have everything, but the average man doesn't have a lot. I work. I have, hell, there's some days I'm working 15 hours a day. Um, Hard work, blue collar job. So there's not much. I got a wife and a kid on the way, and feel like not a lot of normal people go out there and talk. And there are a lot of people out there who agree with the right side, but there are some things that the left side says are like, you know what, I can understand that. And I feel like I said, there's not a lot out. Oh, misclick. There's not a lot out there. A lot of things out there voicing that kind of middle area. So that's what we're going to try and do. So what we will do here is, get this going. Oh, and we're drinking beer on a Monday night because it's worth it. So what we're going to start with here is the first thing that blew my mind. I thought this was crazy, and this is the lightest one on the show tonight. This is the most laid back, simple one, which is crazy to me. Harvard University is bringing in it is a temporary teacher, or what's it called? I have an article here. I'll show in a second. Oh, it doesn't say. It's a temporary teacher, pretty much. So they have a temporary teacher called, where was I? Lahore. You know what? We'll just pull this up because this is something that's got to be seen. I gotta keep this pulled. You know what? Let's do things this way. Boom. I don't know why I didn't think about that to begin with. Okay, so Harvard. This isn't a. This is. I'm looking, and this is the New York Post. It's not a. New York Post more left leaning. Not website, journalism or newspaper, article maker, whatever the hell we want to call it. It's more left leaning than anything else. So I'm not pulling from. I'm gonna try and pull any articles I look at or any stats or anything like that I get from a little bit of both. I'm not just gonna go Fox News for this stat. I'm gonna pull from Fox News pull from CNN, pull from ABC. I'm going to pull from all across the spectrum because I don't want to. I'm not trying to just push the hard right agenda. But first, we got the Harvard is introducing a new temporary professor. I can't remember the term they used for it, but a temporary professor. And his name or her name, whatever it says right here. So my name is Lahore Vagistan. Okay, we'll just read this. My name is Lahore Vagistan. My preferred pronouns are she or auntie. I call my... Why auntie? I understand, I want to be called she, I want to be called him, they, right? That's a thing people do. But auntie? There's got to be... when I heard auntie, I thought it was a joke. There's no... Your pronoun is auntie. You know how, like, Republicans say, oh, well, I'm going to be... my new pronouns are Apache and helicopter, right? That's what that sounds like, is auntie. I chose Lahore because my family traces its origins to Pakistan. First of all, I feel like that's a disgrace, right? Lahore is an important city in Pakistan, and well, I'm a bit of a whore. So they took a important city in Pakistan, which might I add is strongly against stuff like this. He tries this in Pakistan. He's getting there, whatever the hell. He's getting stoned. He's getting hung. He's getting, what do they do? They like dig their body into the ground with just their heads exposed and stone them to death. That's probably what's going to happen if he shows his face around there, or shows up dressed like this there. And he said, yeah, and I'm a bit of a whore. And Vagistan, because I see the subcontinent as one big, beautiful vag, is Stan. Oh my God, he's a comedian. He wrote in the tacky, navel-gazing self-interview. That name, Kubchandani, will teach just 2 classes over the course of 2 semesters. Queer ethnography in the fall and Rupolitics, Drag Race, and Desire in the spring semester, according to Harvard's announcement. My big question here is why are we doing this? Why is this something that's being allowed? So we can't teach religion, or let me rephrase that, we can't teach Christianity. I can't go into Harvard as a professor. I mean, one, because I'm stupid, but if I was smart, I can't go into Harvard as a professor and I can't teach about Jesus. I can't teach about God. I can't teach about the Bible. Yes, I can go in and do talks or, whatever. I can do a quick 2-hour meeting, whatever it's called. But talking about that is banned in schools, a big no-no. But then we can have a whole course on queer ethnography and, well, okay, yeah, we're skipping that part. Drag Race and Desire. Why? I just don't understand why it's okay to teach one thing. But then if somebody was to go in and try and teach something else, it's a problem. It's not okay. It's not allowed. They're going to raise hell. There's going to be riots. They're going to try and get it shut down. And it's just going to be a massive, massive problem. And then why do I have this open twice? Okay. Now, he went on a podcast of all queer, gay, whatever the hell else, them people. And he did an interview where everybody, you gotta watch, I think it's hilarious. So he's talking, this is Lahore, what was it again? Lahore Vagistan, right here. You got this vampire sitting right here. I don't know, he's methed out, a vampire, something. This guy right here sits there the whole time and just does his makeup, not interested in the conversation whatsoever, and this person looks like they're falling asleep. It is the funniest goddamn thing to me.
Education that happens through drag, I was seeing these education that happens through drag, I was seeing in these other places. So that's what I ended up writing about in the book, even though I wasn't writing about drag. I'm finishing another book called Decolonize Drag that is thinking about how colonialism has solidified gender binaries in such a way that we only think of drag as one thing. We think drag is cis people of one gender dressing as the quote unquote opposite gender, right? And that formulate once we start breaking that apart, we start seeing drag everywhere, um, and we start seeing that drag is limited by class and race, or what we think as that excellent
Just
form
doing his makeup.
of expensive drag is limited by class
They
and
both look like
race
they're
and
falling asleep.
caste um, and geography. So really dismantling colonial binaries can help us see drag in more places, give more people credit for their artistry. And the last thing I'll mention is that Lahore Rajasthan sometimes shows up to teach my classes instead of me, and I use this in various ways. So after the Trump Biden election, I knew it was, that morning was going to be a rough morning in my introduction to queer studies class. And so Lahore showed up and did karaoke with the students, and asked my students to do impressions of Kareem because she had never met Kareem before, right? But just that opportunity to play in classroom and to defamiliarize the classroom is really important. And then there are other days where Lahore comes in and it's like, oh, so what have you been learning, right? And it's this moment where they're like, oh, we have to explain to Lahore what Kareem has taught us. And so just having this other moment where students encounter me, but they encounter me differently, has been a really productive teaching device.
Okay, that last part there, that's the most concerning to me. We're gonna go back real quick.
A
Okay.
moment where students encounter me, but they encounter me differently, has been a really productive
Oh, okay.
teaching
No.
important. And then there are other days where Lahore comes in and it's like, oh, so what have you been learning, right? And it's this moment where they're like, oh, we have to explain to Lahore what Kareem has taught us.
That right there is that's the most important telling part to me. Maybe it's just him trying to do a fun thing. Okay, maybe it's just him trying to give the students a break from asshole Jaden or Kareem Kabusaki, whatever the hell his name is. Um, it could just be a fun thing, and I could be wrong. But why that worries me? Because what if that to me that's split? That seems like a little bit of split personality disorder. I don't. That's just what I get off of. What's it called? Dissociative identity disorder is the technical term for it, where 1 second somebody's Kareem, and then the next his personality splits and he's like a whole new person. He says they didn't meet. He comes in having having no recollection of what is going on in the past or what was the class is learning, and to me that just seems. If that's the case, I think we need to get him help, not be giving him college students to teach. College is supposed to be where you meld minds, especially Harvard. Those are going to be our future lawyers, our future doctors, our future political leaders. And instead of teaching them the necessities of what they would need to know, we're giving them. I shouldn't have closed the window. I think I wrote it down. We're giving them the classes such as queer ethnography and drag, race, and desire. If I'm a doctor, if I'm a lawyer, if I'm a future politician, why do I care what somebody gets sexual desire from? That's not something that's important in my life if I'm studying to become a doctor, a lawyer. That's not something I care about. If I'm going into a court or into the surgery, it's not going to I remember in queer anthropology, I don't care that he dresses up. I don't need to know that he dresses up like a woman. College is supposed to be about educating our future leaders, our future, going into the world with the tools, being able to function in society. It's not being able to hold a job, being able to be a doctor. I'm not going to, if it was, either way, it's a bad thing. But being at Harvard, which is like the school of schools, everybody wants to get into Harvard. That's the school to go to. And now this is what they're teaching. I mean, I got this here. Let's take a look. So Harvard costs $87,000 a year. So We'll bump it up, say 90. $3,000 difference. If you're paying to go to Harvard, you're not hurting on money anyway. So $3,000 is chump change. Harvard costs $87,000, $90,000 a year to go to. If I'm paying for my kid to go to Harvard for $90,000 a year and I find out he's taking queer and queer, good lord, queer ethnography and drag race and desire, I'm gonna be pissed. And it's Harvard's right. I mean, it's Harvard's right. There's nothing we can do about that. If they want to, besides refuse to take the class, it's a damn fly. That's the best we can do. Is good lord. And that's what I think is going to happen, and that's what I think should happen. Refuse to take the class. Don't let your kids take the class. Educate your kids so that way Harvard doesn't get all these ideas in your mind, or because so they don't take the class and Harvard doesn't get all those ideas in their mind before you can. You want to raise your kids the way you want and let them grow into the adult they want to be. Don't let Harvard come in or any other bullshit university come in and indoctrinate your kids. I mean, I was trying to avoid saying the word, but that's what it is. It's indoctrinating the kids. I mean, there's an 18, 19-year-old going to Harvard. He's got the world ahead of him. He studied hard. He did everything. I mean, you have to be smart to go into Harvard. And they go in, all these teachers are super smart, intellectual Harvard teachers. Oh my, they're the best because they're here teaching at Harvard, which is known to be the best college you can get into to get a high-paying job, to make money, to be a surgeon, to be, to be a lawyer, If you get into Harvard, you're gonna be set in life. Okay, I shouldn't say you're gonna be, but most likely you're going to be set in life. And this is what we're teaching our kids instead. Is about queer, and why is that a major thing to Harvard? It's not like a required class. Kids can take it, but the fact that it's even offered, I mean, it just mind fucks me. It's insane to me. I can't fathom the fact that this is something that Harvard is worried about. This is something that they probably sat down, had a meeting, and was like, you know what, this is a good idea. They wasted probably an hour in this meeting. It's crazy. I don't know. And I feel like these guys aren't even buying his bullshit. They're supposedly drag queens, drag kings, whatever the hell, right? But they did not care. I mean, the whole time he looked like he was falling asleep. He looked methed out like he was going to fall asleep, or maybe he's just a vampire. And this guy was just doing his makeup. Nobody was listening. I don't even think they're buying the bullshit he's putting out. That it's just stuff like this that, holy shit, this pisses me off. Why is this something so important to Harvard, where they're creating future doctors? And if you're one of the very few that get a scholarship, because it's hard to get a scholarship at Harvard, right? If you're one of the very few that can do it, then why are we? You spent your whole life grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. Just why would you waste your time on this? That's what blows my mind. And the crazy thing about it is some kids are going to take the time to take this class. It's going to be something, and I don't know. It baffles me. That's one. This is something that pisses me off. But we're going to move on before I get too angry. Or too into it, I guess. Not angry. This next one's going to really piss me off. So we got Jay Jones. He is a Virginia, or he's running for the district attorney in Virginia. Okay, and we're gonna do this real quick. Okay, so we have blue is the person getting the text, and gray is Jay Jones. So they say nice things about everyone. LOL. I'm assuming talking about Gilbert and his wife and blah blah blah. Jay Jones says, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. And then the person says, Jay Jones. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Polpo. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Jay, please stop. LOL, okay. It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. And then conversation cuts off. You weren't simply asking questions and you know it. I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. Let's read that again. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. Of all things, even if you're gonna wish death on a person, which is fucked up to begin with, if you're gonna wish death on a person, hell, even on his wife or the husband, it is fucking. It's beyond evil. But to wish death upon their kids, I probably should have looked up. You know, we can look it up real quick. It maybe, I don't know if it'll tell. How old is Jennifer? If I could type Jennifer Aniston. Okay. The hell? It's not going to tell us. But I don't know why I closed Google. Anyway, let's just assume. I mean, it's not right either way. But we'll say they're 8 years old. Innocent children who don't even know what the hell's going on, you're going to wish death upon based on their parents' political views. You wish somebody would come up to them, put a bullet not only in the husband, not only in the wife, but in the 2 kids' heads. This is what is wrong. This is what's wrong with us. This is why everybody thinks it's okay to go out with a gun and shoot down people who don't believe with them. Try to assassinate presidents. Assassinate the likes of Charlie Kirk, right? Try and kill judges. And it's on both sides. I'm not going to lie. There have been attempts from far-right extremists as well. There have been people who have gone out and tried to commit political violence. But it is so much farther, it's so much more prominent on the left because of shit like this. It takes, and I know it's not everybody. And I know it's usually extremists that do it, but it's so far more prominent that it has to be talked about. It has to be something that's brought up. And I think it's gonna. Okay, you know what? We're gonna keep talking about this, or we're gonna keep reading these. Sorry. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. So this conversation is sparked by Gilbert not moving on a policy. They're not moving a policy fast enough. From what I'm gathering from these text messages, that's what I'm getting. And then the person responds to whatever was above. I'm assuming it's after this. There isn't. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. So he doubled down. I honestly am questioning a lot today. I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they are breeding little fascists? Yes. I don't. Why? What's crazy to me is why the kids keep brought into it. If you have a problem with a person, okay, that's one thing, but why do you have to bring your kids into it? That has got to be one of the most sickening things I've read in a while. Because you have an issue. You're going crazy. I'm not gonna lie, we've all done it. Not to this extent, this is psychotic. But we've all gone to the point to. But nobody in their right mind, nobody that's sane is going to sit there and wish death upon kids and bring their kids into it. Why is that something you go to? This guy he's seriously sick, and he needs to drop out of the race. And if he doesn't, which it's Virginia, I'm assuming it's going to happen. They're more of a red-leaning state anyway. But if he just needs to not be voted, this is something we can deal with. I think it's something that he needs professional help. He needs to go in, get checked out mentally, maybe locked into a mental asylum. I know those aren't a thing anymore, but let's open one and throw his ass into it. Because why? That's, I don't know. This is something that should piss everybody off. That should piss everybody in their right mind off. That this guy's psychotic enough to wish death upon children. When's the last time you've looked at somebody you like and gone, man, fuck your kids. I wish your kids would die. I bet you couldn't name it. Okay, let me rephrase that. I bet you most of you couldn't, 99.9% of you couldn't name it. There are some fucking psychos out there. He needs to be checked into a mental asylum. He needs to lose his endorsements, which we'll get to because he hasn't. The Democrats in Virginia are still standing by him. All his endorsements, companies, Democrats, anything like that, they're standing by him. Him and his fake ass apology. But he hasn't dropped, at least as of 8:32 p.m. on Monday, on Monday, October 6, 2025. He hasn't dropped out of the race. He said, well, like I said, this is fairly new, but he hasn't dropped out of the race. He hasn't lost a single endorsement that I could find. I looked for like 20 minutes. I couldn't find a single endorsement he's lost. Some of them, there are some that are like, that's not bad, but still vote for Jay Jones. No, we shouldn't be endorsing this kind of rhetoric. People see this. Oh, this guy's a district attorney. If he's thinking that way, it's okay if I do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to shoot fucking Donald Trump. I'm going to go shoot Charlie Kirk. Or let's take it a step further. Somebody on the right is, well, this is how the Democrats are thinking. Maybe this is how I should think. This is how I should react. If they're thinking like this is how I should do it. So they're going to go out. Oh, if it's okay for them to do it, it's okay for us to do it. And they're going to go out and they're going to shoot fucking AOC. They're going to shoot Kamala Harris. This is the kind of stuff that starts it from the left and right. It's something that shouldn't be okay. And he tried to make, this is him, by the way, Jay Jones. And then now we're going to go to his little fake ass apology. He realized text got leaked. And he scrambled to make an apology, but he didn't apologize. So, he said, like all people, I've sent text messages that I regret, and I believe that violent rhetoric has no place in our politics. Let's be clear about what is happening in the attorney general, not district attorney, in the attorney general race right now. Jason Miyares is dropping smears through Trump-controlled media organizations to assault my character and rescue his desperate campaign. This is a strategy that ensures Jason Miyares will continue to be accountable to Donald Trump, not the people of Virginia. This race is about whether Trump can control Virginia or Virginians can control Virginia. Why is his first thought? Okay, mind you, words I apologize, I'm sorry, are nowhere to be seen in this entire apology. And I looked around for a while. I can't tell you how long I spent on it, but it was a while. I looked around and I couldn't find an actual part where he said, I'm sorry, I apologize, I fucked up, I'm a piece of shit. None of that. I didn't see any of that. He said, like all people, I've sent text messages that I regret. I just said that. We've all sent messages. We're like, ooh, maybe that's a bit much, But no, but that you regret, that's all it is. Wishing death upon children is just a text message you regret, and you can't even say, I'm sorry? You can't even say, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. I was in a dark place. And it's not like it was in 2011. Right? So it wasn't like I've changed. I was trying to be edgy for the times. I'm a changed man now. It was so long. No, this is 2022. It's not recent, but it's not that old either. He was in politics at the time. I probably should have looked up what he was doing for politics where he was in his career. But either way, now he's running for attorney general in Virginia, and this is what's going on. Not once, not a single I'm sorry, not a single I apologize. And then after he says, like all people, I've sent text messages that I regret, and I believe that violent rhetoric has no place in our politics. And then he immediately turns it around. Let's be clear about what's happening in the Attorney General race right now. Jason Miyares is dropping smear. He immediately turns it on his opponent, dropping smears through Trump-controlled media organizations. It turns it to Donald Trump to assault my character and rescue his desperate campaign. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Yeah, let's be. He immediately says that he's trying to. Yeah, Trump assault my character. That's what I was thinking of. He's assaulting my character. Assaulting your character. You wish death upon children. There's no. What's he supposed to do? Oh, it's okay, buddy. We all do that sometimes. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't care. We're just gonna take. I mean, we're gonna take a side wishing the death upon the mom and dad for right now. That's fucked up in its own means. That's evil that's psychotic by its own means. But children. But he's assaulting your character like it's like he has no reason to. Like nobody in the media has any reason to. Like nobody in Virginia, none of the voters have any reason to be mad at you. And you can't even apologize for it. What? And then immediately, oh, I've sent messages I regret. But my Jason Miyares, my Republican competition, is turning it around to smear me and assault my character. He's using it in his strategy to continue to be accountable to Donald Trump, not the people of Virginia. That's not what we're fucking worried about. I'm at a loss for words. That's not what we're worried about. That's not what we care about. What we care is the fact that you thought it was okay to talk about murdering children, that you wish somebody would walk in and shoot their fucking kids in the head. Which I'm kind of mad that they didn't shoot that exact or add that exact text into this, because all she says, she quotes it. But you agreed to it. You weren't simply asking questions and you know it. I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. You agreed to it. You can't deny it now. Oh, she took it out of context. Oh, she edited it so it didn't. No, you agreed to it right there. It's plain and simple. But no, we're just trying to assault your character. That's all this is. That's all we want to do is just assault your character. That's just crazy to me. I don't know. And the fact that the Democrats aren't dropping him, they're not doing anything like that. They're continuing to talk about it. They're continuing, or not talk about it, they're continuing to endorse him. Oh yeah, it was wrong, but hey, it's okay now. But he's still a good guy. No, you can't be a good guy after saying something like that. I don't know. That's crazy. Now we're going to look at his endorsements. Just because I want to go through this real quick. Because if you're in Virginia, you need to see this, where to avoid, what not to look at. I'm not going through all of these because I don't know what some of these are because I don't live in Virginia. But these are just quick. These are the companies that endorse him and have continued to endorse him through this whole thing. Like I said, I looked into it for a while. I couldn't find anything or anybody that dropped him. Maybe there's somebody I missed, but I couldn't find anybody that dropped the guy. And then so these are all his endorsements. Again, I think he's at the top here. This is what I don't know who this is, but this is what he looks like. These are some of his political. Senator endorses him, governor, former first lady, congressman. These are all people who endorse him and haven't decided to drop it. Haven't condemned his actions, haven't dropped it, haven't done anything like that. Same thing, General Assembly members, stuff like that. Not a single person has came through and be like, you know what, that's fucked up. Killing kids is wrong. Why can't the kids just be left alone? I don't know. But look at all this. The fact that he has one name on this list, he has one company on this list, baffles me. I don't know. I guess it's an evil world we live in. There's no reason there should be a single goddamn name on this list. Senator, delegate. Okay, a lot of delegates, goddamn. Okay, maybe that's all delegates. Former delegate. I saw, a couple first ladies up top. local elected official. I mean, there shouldn't be a single name on this list, but everybody's, oh, it's okay. We want to kill kids too. That's what I'm seeing from this list. That's what I'm seeing from. Oh, it's okay. We want to murder kids too. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't know. That's crazy to me. We'll move on to the next topic because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but that's something that if that doesn't get you angry, then I don't know. I don't know. That's insane. Next, speaking of violence, Chicago, the city of Chicago and state of Illinois is suing Donald Trump. This is not the first thing I wanted to see. I'm going to lose my place, so I'm not going to do this. So we will go back here. I just realized that. That's on me. Um, yeah, so at the ACLU of Illinois has also filed suit Monday against Trump, DHS, ICE, Border Patrol, and several of these agencies, national and local leaders, accusing them of unleashing a campaign of violence and intimidation against peaceful protesters and journalists during the weeks of protest outside an ICE detention facility in Broadview, Illinois. So pretty much what they're saying is Trump's trying to come in and say, hey, or trying to piss off the crowds of peaceful protesters. Don't get me wrong, there are peaceful protesters out there. From what I've seen, though, is majority of these protesters are peaceful, but that's not where the main show of force is being. They'll have cops there because we see it all the time. A peaceful protest is one wrong word or one wrong move from turning into a riot, right? The one wrong guy shows up, turns it into a riot. So that's all. So there is a police presence, but there should be, right? If there's a big enough, if there's like 6 kids sitting on the corner with signs, leave the poor dudes be. It's their right. They have the First Amendment right. They have it. They can sit there. They can protest. They can do whatever. It's fine. But if there's like 60, 50, 60 people on there, then there should be a police presence. Okay, we're just here to make sure shit's not going out of getting out of hand. But a lot of it I'm seeing too, there's not peaceful protest, and that's where the tear gas is being thrown, the people are getting beat up, the cops are showing force because they're not just going to let them take over the city. That's, and I think, me personally, if you're going to peacefully protest, hey, be by all means. I personally don't know how the hell you got it off work. Like, there are a lot of protests that happen here in my town that I agree with, that I'm kind of sometimes like, oh, I wish I could go to that, but I got a job. But hey, maybe you took the day off, maybe you called in sick, I don't know. But it's your right, protest to protest, it's fine. But the moment it gets violent, we start throwing bitches in jail. I don't care who you are. You're getting locked up, going to jail, whatever's got to happen. And that's what I think Trump's taking a step too far, bringing the National Guard in. See if the cops can handle it. If they're getting overran, which they are in some areas, if they're getting overran, then look at next steps. But he's taking it too far, just immediately, boom, National Guard. Have fun with the National Guard. Let's see what happens. Have a good time. And it's, like I said, me personally, I think it's taking a step too far. I can see where he's coming from, but I can also see where the other side's coming from. Because they're like, what the fuck? You're taking it too far. You're trying to escalate this. But at the facility that this article's talking about, oh, didn't mean to do that. At the facility, about 12 miles, 19 kilometers west of Chicago, federal agents have repeatedly fired tear gas, pepper balls, and other projectile towards crowds. Towards crowds in response, and at least 7 people have faced federal charges after being arrested in those clashes. Which is, if they're attacking back, then okay, I mean, it makes sense. Or if they're attacking first, but if they're going out there and start, I haven't seen a video yet of how an incident started, so it's all just skeptical. Maybe the cop, which I highly doubt, but maybe an ICE agent or a cop came up and just punched some dude in the face. I raise hell. But 9 times out of 10, it's the crowd getting rowdy, the crowd getting too emotional, and that's when they're getting hit with tear gas, pepper balls, rubber bullets, stuff like that. And I don't know what you expect. Why is this an issue? And now they're suing him. They're suing him to try and get it to stop. But if the cops can't do anything, which it looks like in these videos I'm about to show you guys, it looks like they're not doing a damn thing. So then maybe the National Guard does need to get involved. Somebody who's gonna step in and shut this shit down. If you want to protest, but don't get violent. Don't burn down like the George Floyd protest. Don't be burning down buildings, killing people, anything like that. Protest, but don't get violent. It's not that hard. It's really not. And I understand you feel some type of way because illegal immigrants are getting deported, which I understand. There are cases somebody was legal, got caught in the system, and got deported. I understand that's an issue. It's not a perfect system. Doesn't need to be fixed and looked at 100%. But if you come here illegally, you're going to get deported. That's like if I decide to move to France and live there, not get my citizenship, take their jobs, take their health care, take whatever the hell else, get free shit off them all the time. They're going to want me kicked the fuck out, are they not? It's simple. You come here illegally, break the law, go home. There are avenues to come here legally. And I know it's not the easiest avenue, but that's why we have it. Because we want to bring into America the good people. You can seek asylum in America. That is a thing. You are allowed to seek asylum if you're in a war-torn country. Say Mexico breaks out in civil war tomorrow. You can come seek asylum in America. It's a whole different process, but you can come seek asylum in America. But these people are just coming over willy-nilly, committing crimes, taking jobs, they're getting all sorts of free shit from the government that we're paying for. I personally don't see the issue with sending them back. I mean, look at that guy that killed that Ukrainian girl. Or sorry, I'll get there. They're committing crimes, being let out, and then everybody's shocked when they commit a heinous crime. And our justice system is fucked too. Letting, like I was just said, letting that guy that killed that Ukrainian girl, he was arrested 14, 15 times, let out on the IOU policy or whatever the hell it's called, and he went out, killed a girl, and that's what it took to get it taken. I don't know. That's like I said. I personally don't see this issue an issue with getting the National Guard as long as they're only going to violent protest. If they're going to violent protests and showing force, if they're going to peaceful protests, which I've seen people talk about, but I haven't seen any actual proof of. But as long as they're going to, like I said, peaceful or violent protest and showing force, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the court case. I'll keep taking a look, or keep watching it, and I'm assuming talk more about it in the future because I figured it's going to be a big thing. But now we'll go to a couple of videos that I saw that was crazy to me. This one was uploaded October 4th, so it's a recent video, a couple days ago. And that is crazy loud, huh? Turn that down some. And this is just incidences of the protests getting violent, throwing shit at cars. You know, throwing cement milkshakes, you know, stuff like that. Rocks, you know, water bottles aren't too bad. Lighting off fireworks, that's what I was trying to think of. This guy's driving by. I don't know. I don't think that was an ICE guy. Maybe it was, but I think that was just a person driving by.
You alright, JT?
What the hell happened here? I'm assuming. Oh yeah, they're just replaying it. But look, it looks like a normal guy driving, and they're just throwing. Why? Why are we throwing shit? People are just being violent and being extra to be extra and violent. Which you can hear the fireworks set off. See whatever the hell that gas is from. Maybe I'm assuming that was the firework. And this is the easy one. This one's not bad. This one's not terrible. They threw water bottles, were screaming at them. They got out of there safe. But this is the crazy one. Again, that is way too damn loud. Hear the vehicle. The vehicles are starting to come down, so you see people running over. You see them throw something at it. You can hear the thud when they hit the fucking windshield. Looks like just water bottles right now. There's a rock. Here in a second, you can hear windows shatter. Those are ICE agents throwing tear gas. I think I talked over it, but you can hear a window shatter. Look at that. You could hear that fucking rock hit the window. Throwing the tear gas back at them. Which is crazy. They're in cars. They're just fucking their own people over.
Are you okay? Did that hit you in the head?
Yeah, it did. Well,
Are you alright? Okay. It's scuffed, but not cracked. You're okay. Hit you right in the dome, huh?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're alright. What's the matter?
Rest of this, I mean, there's nothing crazy. He checks on the guy. That guy got hit with tear gas. They're making sure he's okay. Whatever. I already went through this. So, I don't know. I get. Oh, that is what I did. Okay, I was talking this whole time. That's top tier. I appreciate it, Alex. Long story short, what steps can be taken to that's great because it's probably muted this whatever. We live and we learn, huh? It's the first one. Shit'll happen. Fucker, I saw you check your phone. I literally just answered you, bitch. Anyway, we am I still muted? Can you hear me? Check in the chat. Did I check my chat? You're muted. We can't hear you. Now we can. Now we cannot. You confuse me. Anyway, what steps need to be taken? Because this could be a rise in violence if this is something that Trump moves forward with. And like I said, if he's going to peaceful protests and he's showing action, raising hell, stuff like that, then that's infringing their First Amendment rights. People will rise up, and I think people have an issue, rightfully so, will have an issue with it. So as long as he stays to the violent protests, then it won't be an issue. I don't think anyway, but nowadays, far left, not Democrats, far left, radical Democrats I wouldn't put it past them. And it only takes one or two to start a movement, to start this, just slowly keep going up the mountain and creating something bigger. So, like I said, this is something I'll keep an eye on, and we'll talk about more in the future, see what happens. Maybe Trump will say, fuck it, move him in anyway. Maybe, it'll get blocked. Trump will back down. We'll see. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. First episode down in the books. Let me get this pulled up here. There we go. Make sure I didn't have anything else I want to talk about. We are good. All right. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that good bullshit. And we will be back 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock CST. I should probably specify that, huh?